Hello, collective. Welcome back to Path of Enlightenment Tarot. For those of you returning to the channel, welcome back. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm Nicole. I'm just kind of playing around a little bit today and thought that I would do a collective message per spirit. And then I might throw something else out there later. We'll see what's going on. I don't know. Feeling a little vibe. So I guess, again, finding out what's going on in the collective. I think more so like what we need to know right now. Like what else is going on in the ethers of what it is we need to know. A lot of repeating energy this week in the December readings that I've done. I think I have one left to do, which is Leo, and I will get that out. Spirit saying divine timing. I'm fighting a little bit of a headache today. I don't know. So got the coffee here. I laid off coffee. Not that it's a big deal, but I don't know. Anyhow, let's see. There's a lot of energy kind of floating around with Jupiter right now. For some reason, I keep pulling in on that energy. Mars is in retrograde. Mercury is in retrograde. We know, right? Pluto has moved into Aquarius now from here until what feels like eternity. A lot of things going on in the world globally. Spirit's saying a lot of slander, so who knows where this reading is going to go. You know, with Mars, it's aggression, right? It's aggression, it's crazy stuff, it's war, it's revolution, it's, you know, you throw Pluto into the mix of it all, and it's kind of like, it's almost like it's backing the significant period of change that is coming. And I think a lot of the people that I've talked to this week in personal reads, they've felt that. They've felt that, depending on the sign. Like, I think we're all feeling it as I say that. There's Aries, which Mars rules Aries, and Scorpio, 9th house exploration. I think we are at a precipice right now where we are trying to decide where we are going, right? So exploring our options, taking a look at various things, Spirit saying what the turning point is going to be. And I feel like a lot of you are aware that something is coming, something big is going to come and happen. And we need to know, Spirit, here we go, straight spiritual, intuitive. We need to know where our values are going to align within ourselves so that we can create a projection of the future. Now, I also will say in regards to that, like, don't tie expectations. Projection of about where you want to go, kind of getting clear with yourself, but not having an expectation of how that's going to happen. So, you know, be aware of that energy as well. So let's see. My eyes hurt. My head hurts today. It doesn't want to go away. So let's see here. Drawing conclusions will only stifle your growth, Spirit is saying as well. So for those of you that have been with me for a while, you know primarily what I do is intuitive anyhow. I, of course, use the cards, but more intuitive messages than anything else. First card out is Mercury. There it is, right? There's that Mercury retrograde, messages, conclusions. I think that something, even though Mercury is in retrograde, like, there are things that are being activated for us by way of this retrograde period that will tend to show the truths of what is necessary to move forward. So it's like, if you've been embattled with something for some time and it seems to linger and it's not really going away, it's not like totally dissipating, it's still kind of like pushing at the surface of things. The messages that you're getting, they may not be clear, they may not be well-rounded, you may not feel like there's enough evidence of something to draw a final conclusion on it during this Mercury retrograde period. But it's, for those of you who are not taking aggressive action, it's waiting. It's waiting to see what comes of what is going on around you. And for those of you who, I feel like there's a lot of you that are really at an odd place of peace. And when I say odd, like, peace is a great thing, right? But it feels abnormally calm. Like, things around you could be going on and being chaotic and things are being activated. You are being activated too, but it's like, how are you reacting or responding to what is transpiring around you? And that's going to give you, you know, you could call it karma, really. How you respond to things is essentially your karma. So I don't feel like many of you are making, if you have this clarity within of who you are, Like, you're not really jumping the gun to do things or say things. It's like, I used as an example the other day, I wrote something out in response to somebody on a personal note, and I waited to see, like, am I going to feel about this the same way in 24 hours? And when I went back and I read it, it still held weight. It still held in importance, but was it worth communicating that to that person? When the message that I'm putting out there, are they going to receive it, right, the way that it's intended, or are they going to take offense to it and get aggressive and cause a world war? So I decided, you know what, put it away for another day. Should this arise again, then it will be addressed, but pick your battles. So collective, pick your battles right now, right? Like, is it really worth conveying it? Because I don't think that the messages are coming across as clear as we would like them to. Spirit also giving me, sensitized. Spirit also giving me, if things are going exceptionally well in a particular area, and I'm going to say this has to do with your emotions, your feelings when it comes to somebody else, where things feel like they're shining bright like a diamond, like, oh, this is really good, everybody's getting along. That's bound to change, and that sounds really kind of ew, right? But it's like, you could call it the calm before the storm, collective. You could call it feeling good enough, but yet not wanting to dance with the devil. I don't know how else to put that. It's a strange energy. Pisces here showing up with sensitized, and that's a 12. So we've got 20, which is Mercury, which is a 2. Pisces breaking down to a 3, so we have 2, 3 here on the table right off the bat. It's like there's you ever see, I'm trying to think of what I was just thinking of. There was a video out about, like, meeting your twin flame or something like that. And there's a video of these two people, and it's like they're on this carousel type thing. It's just a platform that keeps rotating, and they're walking across the way, and they pass each other, and then they come back together, and they randomly bump into each other, right? That's kind of like the flow that I'm picking up from this Pisces card, is everybody's just kind of going around and going around. Eventually there's going to be that bump, whether this is because of Mars retrograde, whether this is because of fate and destiny, but this bump, it's like you're walking out and you happen to bump into somebody on a street corner, and you're like, whoa, where did you come from? It gives me that kind of feeling, like there's a lot of things that are revolving right now, and you're a part of that revolving energy that's going around right now. And it's like it's bringing in a sense of calm, so you can just kind of do as you need to do, go about your day. Maybe some little bumps and bruises along the way, but nothing that is like earth-shattering or rocking your foundation at this point. I really want to say to you, like, some of you on a more in-tuned, ascended spiritual level, it's like doing nothing, and I've said this a lot lately, doing nothing is doing something. Like, sometimes it doesn't require us to say anything. Sometimes it doesn't require us to do anything. Just to be and take in what is going on around you right now. Midhaven, the pinnacle point here, a 9 showing itself. It's like arriving at, I got the chills, arriving at heaven's doorstep. It's arriving to where you're supposed to go. It is that you're almost there. It's almost time to do certain things. And part of those certain things is Uranus on the bottom here, a change in your foundations. And, again, we look at Pluto and Aquarius, it's structures, it's foundations, it's viewpoints, it's traditions, it's all of those things. And we've said it a million times. It's like having your hands at the steering wheel at 10 and 2, right? Just going about your business, knowing that you're on this journey. A lot of like driving, so a lot of you could be traveling, a lot of you could be taking short trips, a lot of you could just be guiding and steering your life in a particular direction at this point, just moving forward. The Midhaven is a 9. 9s are representations of endings. There is an ending upon the horizon that is going to change the way you forecast your own life. Your viewpoints on what you wanted to do, where you wanted to go, how you thought you were going to work, how you were going to love, how you were going to live, could radically be changing in due time. Those of you who are more in the state of flow, this is going to be far easier to navigate than it is if you're going to fight it with resistance. If you feel like something is trying to leave your life, let it. If you feel like something is trying to enter your life, let it. Whether or not it sticks around, it's like, don't become codependent. Don't become attached to those things, because they could just be for a season, a reason and a season. Don't drive your force into, ooh, I'm tying an expectation to this person, this situation, this job, this idea. Let it flow, because it's going to look incredibly different than the way we perceive it to be with our human mind. Our human mind kicks in and goes, I have to make sense of this. This has to make perfect human logical sense. It can't be spiritually guided. Talk about a test of faith. So let's see, what else, Spirit, for the collective? What else for the collective? Gemini and Mercury. Those two go hand in hand. It's all about the communication. 8th house, mystery, and sensitize. Feeling your way through the things you don't know or understand. This could be Spirit saying community outreach stuff. And I don't know whose reading I did the other day, but something very similar, if not those same words, came out in it, and I don't remember whose that was. Those of you with Gemini, Pisces, and Scorpio's placements right now, I feel like this reading is heavily impacting you specifically. The distractions in which, if I could talk, in which that we have used during this period of time, for however long it's been for you, address that accordingly. You could have gone from being very, 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 very busy and keeping yourself extremely distracted to being sat on your tail feathers and going, you don't get to decide the direction now. Like, you've done the work. What comes next is like a big surprise, right? It's a mystery. It's sculpting away. And part of this downtime that you could be feeling, almost a sense of boredom for some of you, is like, just cultivate in your mind. Think about in your mind, like, where you want to go, who you want to be, what you want life to look like. It's re-examining, and retrogrades, right, for review. What is it that you need? What has changed within you? I don't know, let's say you came up with a goal 5 years ago, and you thought you had it figured out how one day you were going to get there. But now you're realizing, like, there's certain parts of who you are that maybe don't fully resonate with that anymore. Conjunction, which is an alliance, right? This conjunction is activity and things that are, it's setting creativity in motion. It's the intensity of it. This is where a combination of alignments, planets, energies, like, our strength is building from this pinnacle point, this midhaven point, that's requiring balance. There's Libra and Scorpio with the moon, where we didn't have, even if we thought we had clear sight of the future, we really did not. We thought we did. Our human mind said we did. But you think about geese, like, they travel in the bee. There's someone to lead the way. Some of you could be stepping into leader positions. You may be, if you've been very busy, Spirit could be asking you to just listen. Hey, it's like tagging in somebody on a football team. We have those bench positions, right? Like, when we need you as a backup, we're going to call you in. You could have led the way, right? You could have been the quarterback of your life for the last, 11 months, 12 months, whatever it's been this year, right? And you've led the way. You've done the thing. You've done exactly what you were supposed to do. They want you to take a time out. They want you to rest before the next big game. So, hey, it's the fourth quarter. We're halfway through the fourth quarter. We've got a 20-point lead. We trust that the backup quarterback is going to come in and wrap this game up. Have a seat. We don't want you getting injured because we need you for the next big play. We need you for that next big game. You're the quarterback of your life, collective. Have a seat. You're leading by points. The game is almost over. Let it wrap up, and you prepare. Prepare yourself for what comes next. And right now it's to rest. It's to rest, to be still, to know that you're getting ready to take off in flight. You're getting ready to make a very bold move in your life as things are aligning behind the scenes. Spirit has its hands all over this. Spirit's got its divine will all over this. Geese could be very, very important. You think about geese, like if you watch them out in the wild, like they waddle around, they do their quacky thing, they are very protective of their home, their space, their being, their little ones, whatnot. If you ever try to get close to a geese or goose or however you say that, I don't even know, they're not very nice. They'll defend their territory. They can be vicious critters, vicious birds. Some of you could be kind of like, what is it in my life right now that I need to protect? Don't get into that aggressive hissing. They hiss, right? That hissing energy. You could be dealing with people around you that hiss. Sounds weird, doesn't it? They hiss. But they can just be downright mean and cruel. So what are you going to do? Go chase those geese? I'm going to say those geese, right? Try to put it in English terms. Are you going to go chase them when they're hissing at you? Or are you going to turn around and walk away? If you've got people that are aggressive and hissing at you, collective, walk away. And turn the other cheek, right? Biblical senses. Turn the other cheek. They're not worth embattling with at this point. They've gotten, I feel like spirit, thank you. Whomever and whatever that has been an obstacle for you, they're running out of steam. They're running out of options. They're running out of give a fucks. Like, you think about it, if you go hard on the basketball court from the minute you go out there, you're going to wear yourself out. Where someone who's kind of laid back and taking it easy, they're ready when it's time, right? It's a game, the game of life, right? The game of life. This is the game of life. Don't be that rabbit, the rabbit, and burn yourself out on a sprint when slow and steady wins the race. There's a lot around animals, so animals could be of significance. Rabbits, turtles, that protective shell. It's like hermit energy, right, in the Kim Kranz deck. It's okay to hermit right now. That's Virgo energy. Be that Virgo if you need to be. Instill that energy in yourself. Rabbits, right? Fertility, growth, abundance. It's Empress energy. It's beautiful. They're soft. They're cuddly. They're lovely. They're so sweet. But they can get wild too. The expression, the wild hair up your ass, and go off and do things that you probably shouldn't have done, right? There's that impulsive energy. The Spirit is asking you to create this balance. Like, if you've done and you've gone and you do, now we must balance that with rest and reprieve. Because it's like wrestling. They're getting ready to tag you in. There's this next thing that's coming, and they need you to be prepared for that. They need you to be well rested and well sounded for that. Let's see. I just shuffled the deck, and there comes the balance, the Libra energy, the Justice card, the Justice, the Wheel of Fortune, the Ten of Swords. What was the other card? There was another card. I can't remember what other one I'm thinking of. Oh, the Ace of Swords. That's it. Those cards have been very heavy in these December reads as well. The balance of the Justice is reminding us to watch our tongue with the Mercury and the Gemini. Gemini is huge. They're huge communicators. If I could talk, holy shit. Huge communicators. There we go. Get it out, Nicole. They're also very busy. They go from a high point to a low point, right? When they're really good, they're really good. When they're not, they're not. We're being asked, divine feminine, divine masculine, to find that duality balance within. This solar calm keeps popping up underneath. It is aligning ourselves in clarity in clarifying our energy for ourselves. You know, do nice things. Spirit saying do nice things for yourself right now. Chiron. This is a period of healing. Collective, I will say this to you. There are some wounds, and at one point they could have been very significant, deep cutting, just take the knife and twist it in, right? Pouring salt in the wounds, kind of wounds in the past. And Spirit is acknowledging the work that you've done, right? Like, you may not have seen or realized how sensitive you were becoming as a result of what has happened in your life. The troubles, the turmoils, the battles. And a lot of us close off in that, right? We feel that pain and we shut down from the world because we don't ever want to have to feel that pain again. But for many of you, you've done the healing work without even acknowledging the fact that you've done it. And you may be at this point that feels like a paradigm shift for you. That's like, you know, I don't quite feel the same way that I did about that before. And this person who is being aggressive and being that hissing geese or goose, or again, however you say it, where I don't feel the need to react. Before, the wounded me, the inner hurt me would have just totally fucking spazzed. I don't need to spaz out about this anymore. I don't want to spaz out about this anymore. You are being rewarded, right? How you act, how you respond, like, you know, just like your kids. If your kids, you know, you promise, hey, I'm going to take you to the ice cream place down the road if you all listen and we have a good day here. And they act like a bunch of fools, right? Doing nothing that you've asked them to do, not listening, being loud, whatever, destructive. You don't reward them by taking them for ice cream. It's like, no, you couldn't act right, so we're not going. Sorry. Like, I hate to be the Debbie Downer. I too wanted ice cream, but you ruined it for all of us. You don't reward bad behavior. And, you know, you could look at the universe and Spirit is the same. Like, we're not going to reward you when you act a fool. A reckless fool. Not a fool who trusts that the divine net of faith and the universe is going to catch you. But you're acting like a fool when it's causing, you know, hazard and havoc in others' lives. So if that's where you're going to be, that sucks. You made that choice. 22:22 on the clock. But where you have done this work, Spirit is acknowledging it. And I said about the Jupiter energy earlier, and here it is, right on the bottom. Your home right now could feel comfortable. I'll put it that way. Like, maybe you're wanting to spend more time at home. Holidays are coming, right? We're having get-togethers. Families coming home for the holidays. Things like that. We're at home, you know, prepping cookies and food and casseroles and decorating for the holidays and wrapping presents and going shopping to bring them home to sort through the shit, right? Like, it's a whole production of December for those who celebrate. And it just feels like as you're doing these simple things, a lot of you could really be cooking or getting into food, like recipes or baking or something like that as well. There's a lot around like harvesting what you've brought in. It's like, what can I do with this? You know, maybe you found some kind of new vegetable you've never had before or something, and potentially eggplant. I don't know. Eggplant's a thing. Eggplants, grapes, and croissants. That's for somebody. But, you know, it's like, well, what can I do with this? So it's like you're enjoying the comforts of home and making home a comfortable place to be. Some of you could be turning in a little bit earlier in the evening or feeling like you just kind of want to hang out on the couch and do a whole lot of nothing, maybe some reading, some writing. Enjoy it. If you do have that downtime and life is allowing that for you, enjoy every second of it, because it does bring in some sort of abundance. You have to be in the state of appreciation and gratitude for what it is that you do have, and it all starts with our home. So, you know, take it in and love it. Love every second of it, right? Enjoy it, enjoy it, enjoy it. Cultivating Taurus energy. There you go. I do think that this work that we're doing, or what may appear to us as humans as the lack thereof, is setting us up for an after April point. And I think what we've got I was actually doing a little bit of studying last night for a change on the astrology, and you know, I think it's Mars. Oh my God. March and April right? We're looking at eclipse seasons. There's some other things going on in the astrology as well around that time. And I really do think that around that point, the way it feels to me energetically, is we're going to see some shifting into things that are really going to catapult us forward for those who are interested in that. What you don't see, third house communication. Some of you, you're waiting. That's interesting. You're waiting for confirmation or news around something in March. As you're arriving into this new 3D year, right? So January 1st. But then you look at March, and March takes us almost into Aries season, right? Takes us into Aries season, midpoint. That is the new year in the zodiac wheel, right? Aries being the first sign. You're waiting for some kind of communication. This could be family, contract, relationship, job. I mean, it could be anything for any of you, right? Oriented. That gives you the massive green light to put that foot down on the pedal. This becomes extremely changing. In the meantime, it's extremely challenging as well. Creating some sort of discomfort, because it's like I've come to this place for me, right? I've come to this moment in time for me. I've aligned with source and spirit and my guides, and I have listened to my intuition to this point. And now I'm here. I have arrived. I get the chills every time I say I have arrived. I have arrived after a very long cycle that I have closed out that has been crazy, right? Good or bad, both in between, I'm sure. But every time I say it, it's just like, I have arrived. And I will say to you, affirm to yourself, like, in the moment in which you are, if you are so unsure about where you're going, it's like, wherever I'm supposed to be, I trust I have arrived. I have arrived to this point. Because there is some kind of information. 2 5s. I got 41 and 14. 41 and 14 could be very, very important. Again, if there's some kind of legal, I don't know why I want to go legal, but legal contract, some kind of contract, it could be a soul contract too. Some sort of contract here, collective, that needs to finally, really, be snuffed out, right? It's like putting a cigarette out. You snuff that sucker out, putting a candle out, using a candle snuffer. Something has to be snuffed out. And I feel like whatever this is, whatever the opposing force or opposing side to this is, do trust that they're going to snuff themselves out. So whatever that means for you, whatever that looks like, this could be in the smallest of ways too. I want to tell you that. But it's like, when I say the smallest of ways, I think we often think relationships, work, right? Things like that. But in the smallest of ways, it's like maybe you've had a friendship for the last 6 months that you've been questioning. Like, is this person really on my side? Like, we have great communication and we talk and we uplift each other, but something just in my gut doesn't sit right with me. And I'm not sure why. I don't know. Maybe this is where that communication is coming. Maybe you're getting a third party because there's like a outside source here too that gives you the final piece of information that has been needed for a while, that you knew something but couldn't quite put your finger on it. Now you understand. And you're like, you know what? I'm free to move on to these newer friendships or invest my time into this job or this place or these people instead of what I was okay with, but I wasn't certain of. Okay, so I hope that's making sense the way that comes in. So what is this third house communication? I feel the need to clarify that one. Rebirth, Pluto. You may come back around to certain people though too, collective. Not all of you, some of you. And when I say that though, it's like, you ever run into somebody after like 20 years, 10 years, 15 years, whatever it's been. And it's like, you've gone your separate directions, whether it was a relationship, friendship, hometown, whatever. and you go your separate ways, and all of a sudden, again, bump back into each other, and you're like, whoa, you are either the same, you are different, better or worse, who knows, right? You have that momentary touch in the wind, and then you go back off on your separate directions again. I do feel like for some of you throughout the month of December, specifically, others it may be different, there could be a reunion of sorts as well. And this person, this situation makes you reflect back upon yourself in the heart space matter and goes, is this really what I want to do? Is this who I want to spend my time with? Because they show up, they could be very in and out of your life. Maybe you're the one who's in and out because you're unsure of where you're going, right? Like, it may have its valuable points, but does it support the life in which you were trying to create for yourself? Does it align with your vibrational energy? As I say that, the Two of Swords and the Justice on the bottom. Is it balanced? Is it fair? And I do feel like you're at a crossroads with that. I think there's going to be a few things that don't seem nearly as dramatic as we have dealt with in the past. But they are a crossroads point. And it's like, I don't feel too many of you overthinking it excessively. But that Two of Swords says to me, it is that point where something is illuminated. Where we see why we've come to this crossroads. Maybe this is part of our healing as well, going, now I know why I've had a hard time making a decision. Either way, it may be difficult to stay or to go in a situation because you're going to have to give something up in order to get to the next phase. So, are you going, what is worth giving up to and what is worth keeping? Knight of Pentacles. Slowest tortoise moving card in the deck, right? I also feel like, again, contractually, the Sun, there is likely to be somebody, and there's that communication all over this again. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 major cards of communication here. Oh, don't mind this hair. Oh my God. I didn't fix it today. I'm spending my Saturday with you as such. It's not about the hair, it's about the messages. But the daughter, or the Page of Swords, communication, spying, looking, stalking, right? I do feel like someone is kind of being forced to show their hand. It's crazy that I say it that way, but it is. It's like somebody's being forced to show their hand to you. Look, and behind that, the Moon and the Ten of Swords, Gemini, Queen of Swords. The Knight of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles. It's like somebody was withholding an offer, trying to withhold some sort of stability, security, something tied to your foundations that may have caused a temporary pause of sorts, but I don't think that it had a major impact, and it's going to depend between now and then on your test of strength, your vitality and virality of how you navigate things. Again, those battles, was it worth the battle of them, trying to make things a mess for you? And, is it worth investing in? And, Page of Swords, or Page of Wands, that grimy Page of Wands, slithery snake that they are. Temperance coming out as well. This is going to illuminate to you the growth that you've had, but it's also going to illuminate to the person trying to come in how much you've grown. Like, you're not who they used to know. You're not who you used to be. You don't fit that description anymore. They've tried to twist things, right? They try to twist things. They've tried to make it something that it never was. And the truth and the clarity of all of it is starting to show itself. I think it's already been showing itself, but that's why they're losing that push. They're losing the liveliness, or what was it? Spirit said that they were losing their, oh hell, what was it? I don't know. They can't keep up anymore, right? They can't keep up with what it is that they've been doing for so long. So their gumption to make things happen has declined significantly. And it's part of it, though, because, like, your sword and rose, clarity, truth, revelations, honor, protection, determination, there you are, standing in that, right, the right side of things. Hammer, sabotage and rebuild, persistent, working on it, repairing it. You know, people will do things to the point that they just completely annihilate everything in their path. And then they look at you to fix it. No. Not your job. It's not your job to fix their shit. Like, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to be reckless. And I'm going to do stupid stuff. And then I'm going to ask you to bail me out. And I don't think you have the capacity to do that. Like, you're not going to bail people out. You're not going to show up for them just because that's what they want from you. Clock, yeah, you need this time out right now, collective. Take it, enjoy it. Love yourself, love your family, love the people that are important to you. But most importantly, love on you. Love on you. You're expressing your boundaries and examining options, and that's what this review point is for, right? You're realizing, and not that you didn't already know this, right? Like, you realize that there have been a lot of attacks and words or gossip or slander or lies and deception that has been spread or addressed. And it's like, why y'all gotta act that way? Why y'all gotta be away? You're still doing some healing work around that, but the severity of where it once was is just not there anymore. It's bringing ease and comfort. Like, you are self-soothing. Collective, you're self-soothing. It's like letting a baby cry at night. You know, you need them to be able to help to calm themselves, right? Somebody can't be there their entire lives to hold their hand when life gets wonky. So it's that energy. It's tired of looking over your shoulder. It's tired of feeling like you're on edge or walking on eggshells with certain people, and it's like this person has put you in competition with them. They want you to stay in competition with them. And if they can continue to engage your energy, they got you. These situations, they got you. And for some of you, you may be the one reaching out because it's like, I'm supposed to do this. Like, then maybe this is part of my contractual agreement with a job. And you're just getting no response. Spirit's blocking the communication. Spirit's stopping it for a reason. They don't want you to fall back into an old cycle. Don't get frustrated. Don't question it. Just let it go. Timing, divine timing. Thank you, Spirit. Divine timing is at play here. Okay? Not today. See, boundaries. They're disappointed. I'm saying there. So there could be more than one. They're disappointed that you will not replay this old lifestyle. That you won't give all of yourself to this. And that in itself, as you cut this out, that in itself is a tower moment. It's not earth-shattering. It's not super dramatic. It's just when they realize that maybe you were an overgiver, you're not giving as much anymore. You were trying to go in and fix things, band-aid things. You're not doing that anymore. You're saying no. You're, respecting yourself, as I said in Scorpio's read. You're kind of letting things just happen as they are. That in itself is a shock because you may have been a buffer. Like, I don't even know why with this Page of Wands, I'm getting the idea of a buffer. You may have been the buffer between two other people trying to keep the peace, right? You could have been the peacemaker. So when you refuse now to keep the peace between these two people and they have to stand on their own 2 feet, like I said, you can't self-soothing, right? You've had to learn how to self-soothe. You've had to learn when you've had nobody else there how to, if you're having an anxiety attack as an example, how can I, if I'm by myself and I can't reach out to someone or talk to somebody in that moment, I've got to get myself to calm down. I've got to be the one to take care of me in that specific moment. And you've done that. So now that you are no longer that buffer to these other people, and you're going, listen, I can love you, right? Love you, respect your boundaries and mine at the same time, simultaneously, but you've got to take care of this on your own. You've got to figure this out on your own. You two, or whoever, or whatever this is, you are going to have to figure this out. I can no longer be the middleman in a situation. Can't do it anymore. That is their tower moment, because now they're being left to have to sit with themselves and find a way to resolve it. And that opens up a cycle of having to address their own shit just as you have. Having them to have to look at themselves and go, where is my toxicity? And do understand, collective. Do understand this, Spirit is saying. Some of these people will not do it. Odds are, in this particular situation, if that is your situation, dealing with two separate situations or individuals, they need to work it out. One will go off on their own path and figure it the fuck out. They are really going to implement their boundaries. The other side of that is going to throw their hands up. They're going to argue. They're going to scream. They're going to fight. They're going to kick. And probably throw the FU out more times than not. One part of this is not meant to evolve. At least not in this situation. Maybe down the line they will with another situation, time, place, and person. But it will not be in this situation. They're not ready. They aren't capable. I think eventually they're going to fade away. You know, what is going to happen to this person? I'm being super nosy today. Super nosy. What is going to happen to this person that is refusing to adjust accordingly? Yeah, step back. They're starting on that spin of backing off of a particular thing. Not because they want to, but I also think there may be another third party to the situation that is, you know, I don't say making them, right? We're all capable of doing our own thing, but they're getting resistance. So this triangulation of sorts that you are in, being the middleman, this one side, I'm going to say the left side. I don't know why I want to say the left. It doesn't even matter, but the left side. Excuse me. They've got another situation that they're dealing with that is now putting pressure on them about something. And they're trying to come towards you, but they're being pulled back because whoever or whatever is connected to them knows that something needs to change. Like, they're tired of dealing with whatever this is. They're over it. You know? I don't know. Let's just, as an example, say, yeah, it's time, fresh start, break free. There it is. They're over it. Let's just say you grew up in a house with a step-parent, and you and the step-parent never really got along, and, you know, your mom is like, I can't keep refereeing between you and this person. You two can fight it out, and stepdad is just like, I don't want to do this anymore. It just becomes a whole thing. Like, yeah, I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. But it's like those kind of dynamics where it's just like, I don't want any parts of this anymore. Like, this is bullshit. What does this person end up doing, Spirit? What does this person end up doing? They, you know, here's the crazy part. This isn't going to be everybody's story. But one side or the other of this, with this person who's going left, they're coming back to ask for forgiveness and mercy. I think before Mars retrograde is over, which is February, I'm pretty sure, they realize the gravity of the situations they've created. Like, the light bulb starts to go off. They start to understand that they've made some serious piss poor choices in the past, right? And now they're trying to find somebody to align themselves with, that they can once again attach themselves to for the sake of saving themselves. They're not coming in, if it is you that they come in and give a half-assed apology to, don't take it. I mean, you can take their apology, but it also doesn't mean that you have to let them back in any capacity. Because it's like they're asking you to, let's find a resolution, and you've got a choice to make. And you really need to have faith that, let them go. Like, have faith that you have the right to say your piece and say, you know what, you treated me like shit, or you didn't show up for these things, and now you want me to have mercy on you. I'm not saying don't have mercy, right? Because we don't want to be hurtful. But again, you can say, you know what, I wish you well, but again, you need to figure this out. Like, don't come back around. This person that is moving on, the right side of this, okay? The right side of this, what comes of that with them? Soar, I love it. They're detaching themselves from things that are broken. And, you know, they're realizing how much this situation, again, you're attached here somewhere in the midst of this, how much this situation dimmed their light. And you're going to get to see how much this person changes over time, how much more free they become as a result. That it's like, if this was a third party situation, as they detach, like this even could have been like a 4-person family unit, and somebody's pulling away from that. Like, they're going their own way. They're flying off. There's a lot about birds. We've got doves. We've got geese. What else did I see? Were they little pigeons? Or no, they're sparrows. Little sparrows here. So, sparrows, geese, and doves could be of importance to you. Okay. But it's like, where they maybe have felt bad and tried to like be their own peacekeeper in different ways too, potentially in a family dynamic, doesn't have to be, but now that their mind is becoming freer and they're having less emotional guilt for something, it rebuilds your connection with them on a positive level, and it's giving them the space to create a new life as well. And it's giving you the space to create new things for yourself and for the collective that is tuned in. Spirit, what else for the collective? Advice for the collective. I heard it will be beautiful and harmonious. As I say that, look at this. They rolled out face down, celebrate and align. Bravery. You're mastering thyself. That's gorgeous. Like, you're aligning. You know, doing nothing sometimes is the very alignment that we need. And look, you're going to be in a place, once you slow down and you heal, you're in a better place to give. You're giving from a cup that is well filled from within yourself. You will be the best version of yourself in these situations. So let's just say you're a mom, you're a teacher, you're a spiritual guide, you're a police officer, whatever you're doing, whatever your title is. And I don't like titles and I don't like labels. I'm that person. Sorry, not sorry. But you're going to be able to show up better because your cup is full. You're going to be the best version of yourself to help people through difficult times that are on the horizon. For people that can't navigate those things as easy as you can, or they don't see what you see. It's a beautiful message. But be still. Just be still and know. Best message. Collective, I'm leaving it there. Personal reads are open and available. That information can be found in the description box below, as well as the About section of the page. Channel memberships are open as well. I'm sending you all a ton of love. I love connecting with you in my free time and all the other times too, right? It's just great. It's a great vibe. Excuse me. Again, sending you so much love. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Bye.